Do-Rag Wisdom here, folks, and welcome to Earthdate Y2k 19.03.25. And these are my post-Mueller report notations and meditations. And before I get into that, I just want to note, please, folks, keep track of the message boards. I will try to respond when I can. So if there's even if I get run to a message board from 6 months ago, whatever it is, just, every once in a while you can check back and see if I responded. But that shouldn't be the most important thing in your life. I just don't want you to think you folks are being ignored. And also, please read Andrew McCabe's book, Threat. I just got finished with the book. It is frightening to note what we have in our halls of power. And have a chance to read this book by Andrew McCabe, please do so. I mean, the guy lost his pension. I want to help him financially if I can. Back to the meditations and notations at post-Mueller report. Nazi Trump. And folks, I'm sorry I'm repeating some of these things. A lot of times I repeat things and you'll see as people who have been with me all this time. Nazi Trump has over 16 more investigations open against him and his family, including shenanigans with his inauguration, the money he used there, and of course there were foreign influences there, as well as playtime with his finances and lying about the amount of money he has so that he can get better illegal deals. Like he could say he has more money so he can get this benefit, or he could say he has less money so he can get that benefit. He violates this Trump and clown creep. He violates our Constitution as committing high crimes and misdemeanors, including nepotism, violating freedom of the press, violating the Emoluments Clause. This malignant creep is far from out of the woods, ladies and gentlemen, friends. He's far out of the woods of justice. The giant Ents, that's spelled E-N-T-S, are resisting. And by the way, in case you don't know what an Ent is, beautiful being, a living and speaking giant tree. If you want to know more about these folks, please look in Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, which as far as I'm concerned is much better than the never-ending Game of Thrones. Talk about cynicism. In the novel 1984, you cannot turn off the telescreen in your room. You can turn it down, but you can never, always, anytime turn it off, and the volume goes down only so far. You're still going to hear everything these totalitarian scum are saying. In our era, we have the power to shut out the crap. That's right. We simply have to shut the TV off when it is giving forth malignant stupidity. I've always despised Trump, and this comes from my experiences knowing about him in my beloved New York City. And I've lived in New York City. I came here as a tourist in 1974, June of 1974. Anytime, and I promise you this, friends, anytime I see his fecal face on my TV, Trump's fecal face, I shut him off. Or I fast forward through him, because I usually record in advance anything I want to watch, and especially if there's commercial broadcasting. I never watch commercial broadcasting. That too is a kind of brainwashing that's designed to make us stupid. Now today he was making a speech while his tuchus-licking buddy, Netanyahu of Israel, looked on with a big crap-eating, tuchus-eating, licking smile on his fascist face. I immediately shut off the TV to wait until I could fast forward through Trump's muck and look at him as he is filtered through the news or through the various satirists and humorists who lambast him with great freedom of speech impunity. By the way, Trader Trump would love to silence these people, and the press and reading in general. He wants to eliminate all of this. Totalitarians want to eliminate speech, reading, thought. But now we have the power to turn that dial or to press that button to silence the Trumpin' creep. Know full well, ladies and gentlemen, that if this fiend Trump had his way, we would have telescreens in our rooms, all over every place. Devices that watch us, hears us, and reports on us. It is the device over which we would have no control or the ability to shut the filthy Trump mouth for good. See, right now I could fast forward through the creep, could shut him out, but if he had his way, he would eliminate our ability to do that. I am certain, by the way, when Trump is finally flushed from office, if he does not go to jail, he will try to start his own media empire. Let's hope he gets to jail. But I know if he doesn't, he's going to be on TV whether we like it or not, but at least we could change the dial. My Bible, 1984, introduces us to the techniques of totalitarianism. In it, the ruling party believes in the mutability of the past, i.e., the past can be revised, changed to support the ideas of the party. The past has changed so much that the residents of this nightmare Oceania society do not even know what date it is. 1984, the title of the novel, is used as a symbolic number, probably the reverse of 1948, the year the novel was released. The Trumpists use mutability of the past all the time when they accuse us of hating Trump fanatically, for example. They made a name for it, Trump disarrangement syndrome. Now these creeps forget to remind us that when Obama was president, these right-wing turds hated him fanatically. So it's okay for them to hate Obama or a Democratic president, but it's not all right if we respond the same way. Personally, we shouldn't be responding with hating one another. But that's naked atheism, something that's going to keep us from evolving, and that's for another topic. This vile creep deserves our hatred because he is taking down our country and our planet while locking up children in cages. I will vote, ladies and gentlemen, for a pile of crap rather than have this guy as being president again. The fact that he would lock innocent children up in cages to ruin their lives forever, there's no way I would allow someone like that to run. There would be no debate about it. Please do not allow the Trumpist creeps to revise history. Everything wrong with our country then and now comes mainly from these right-wing religious extremist totalitarian hypocrites. Doublethink is another totalitarian technique introduced in 1984. It is the ability to hold two opposing beliefs at the same time, accepting one or the other depending on what the party says. And when you change your belief from one to the other, you're supposed to forget. You're supposed to have amnesia that you ever held the opposing belief. This is doublethink. Forced brainwashing of the populace by means to a targeted insanity. Anytime Trader Trump uses the term presidential harassment, for example, he is using doublethink. After all, it was okay for him and the GOP to harass President Obama, right? and I remember how they harassed him. He was forced into using executive orders because the Republican Party would not allow him or try to block him every step of the way that would have somehow made our lives a little better if the Republican Party had stayed back and been professional, been humane, and allowed this man to do what he was going to do. It was okay for them to harass President Obama. It's not all right for us to harass and despise the creep they love. That's doublethink. The war against the Trumpists is not over. The Trump traitor is not vindicated. He will try to use lies and propaganda to prove otherwise. But I have the power of the TV switch. And anytime I see his vile face and hear his wretched voice, I simply shut him off or fast forward. We threw the Trumpists out of the House of Representatives last election day. As we fight this cold civil war, we must keep in mind that there's going to be horrific destruction back and forth that's going to impede progress for us to have a better life. This is one of the reasons why I want a young person to become president of our country, because we of the baby bunglers have loused it all up, and I don't want to see these young people have a horrible future, which will be their present. And this is going to go on as long as this creep, this destruction, as long as he's president, as long as he's in our lives. But I have to hope that come 2020, we are going to flip the Senate the same way we flipped the House too, and send the hair monster Trump down the filthy, fecal-stained toilet bowl of history.